And then the Torah says a correction for the lo saseh, right? The Torah says what you need to do to correct the violation, right? That's called a lav hanitik laseh. That's called a violation that's followed by a correction. And we say a lav, a violation followed by correction, does not get lashes. No Makkos. The Gemara said that there is a question, but there's a time period that a person who violates a violation would get it, and he does not do the correction, or he does something to the correction, there will be lashes. Meaning to say, if he does it, Torah says don't steal. Then he goes ahead and he stole. So Torah says return it. No lashes. But what about if he doesn't return it? Would we give him lashes because he didn't return the stolen item? Or would we say, you know what? You're not returning it today, but maybe he says, I'm going to return it tomorrow. I'll turn it next week. Would he have that option to say that? And therefore, he has, as long as he has opportunity to do the correction, he won't be liable for lashes. So that's the machlokas. Machlokas is, when do lashes kick in? When is the obligation of lashes for someone who violates the violation when it has a correction? So one opinion, Rabbi Yochanan says, lashes don't kick in unless he removes the opportunity to fix it. If he doesn't remove the opportunity to fix it, and he has the opportunity to fix it, there's no obligation of lashes. Shlaka says no. Lashes kick in right away. Immediately, the lashes kick in, and only thing is, you have the opportunity to remove the lashes. When the court calls you up, you come to court. If you follow what the court says and you do the correction, you don't get lashes. You don't do the correction right away, you're going to get lashes. That's what we said last week. So the Gemara today says we are on 15b. With that introduction, the Gemara says this argument was based off a different. There's some underlying issue that's directing this argument. So the Gemara says on 15b, 1 on the right side. B'may kamiflugi. Everyone have it? 15b, 1 on the right side. B'may kamiflugi. What is their reason for their dispute? So the Gemara says, B'hatra safek kamiflugi. What's the underlying issue here is to whether the obligation of lashes kick in right away. Well, obligation of lashes only kick in at a later date is dependent on a different issue. The issue is a warning that's given in a way that it's not clear that this action will bring lashes. Is that a good warning? That's what the Gemara says. If I tell you, don't do this, don't eat not kosher, and then you go ahead and eat not kosher, that was clear that warning was going to bring, if you violate this warning, the person will get what? Lashes. Do you understand this to be a very good warning, right? I told you don't do this, and then you did it. That's a good warning. What if I tell you don't do something, and then if you do it, if you don't listen to what I said, you might get lashes and you might not get lashes. Is that a good warning? Meaning it's up in the air whether you'll get lashes or not for doing this sin. Right. Right, but he knows if he eats it. But if he eats it, you told him don't do this act. If he eats it, not going to do it, he knows he's going to get lashes. Again, the violation has to happen right after the warning, right? But now he knows there's a possibility he might not get lashes for violating. Yes, true. But let me give you an example. The Torah says, don't divorce this woman that you raped. You raped her, you married her, don't divorce her. Now, if he does divorce her, right? If he does divorce her, we're going to say, according to Rabbi Yochanan, the Torah gave a fix. The Torah gave a fixed kol yamav. If you divorce her, the Torah tells you have to take her back. Now you go over to the woman, to the guy, to the husband. He's like this. Don't divorce her. Now, what's the consequence if you divorce her? Because if you divorce her, and good morning, Mr. Ashby, welcome back. Because if you divorce her, just to bring Mr. Ashby up to date, we are in a very nice, complicated Gemara, which you can handle, right? It's that's you were on vacation to charge up your mind. We're still connected to that, but we turned the page. You turned the page. That's good. 15b. The issue here is the following. We're speaking about, the Torah tells us we're not allowed to do certain things. That's called a losas. Don't do it. Sometimes the Torah gives us a correction for it. What you need to, if you violate the prohibition, how do you correct? What do you need to do to correct the prohibition? There's a dispute between two rabbis when you have that correction to do. At what point will you get lashes if you don't do that correction or something was done to the correction? So one opinion says the only time the obligation of lashes kick in on his account, it shows up that he has an obligation of lashes, is only when he does something to remove the opportunity to fix it. As long as even though if he does the violation, let's say Torah says don't leave over to the morning, and he left over to the morning, right? Or let's say give the case that he left over to let's say that Torah says that don't steal, and he stole. Is there lashes on his account because he violated the prohibition, but he has a way to correct it and to remove the lashes? Or is it there's no lashes on his account yet? The lashes would come on his account only if he does something to remove the opportunity to fix it. But if he doesn't do anything to remove the opportunity to fix it, there is no lashes on his account. So again, one opinion says, good morning, Mars. One opinion says the moment he violates the violation, like all other violations that carry an action, there's lashes on his account. On his account, there's lashes, the court calls him up, they summon him to court. Sir, you have lashes on your account. Either you go ahead and you fix it to remove the lashes, either you do the fix, or you don't do the fix, we're gonna give you the lashes that you already have on your account right now. Another rabbi says, no, the court doesn't do that. The court doesn't call him and say, you have lashes on your account. You have no lashes on your account. Because the lashes don't come onto the account, don't show up on the account, unless you actually remove the opportunity to correct it. As long as you have opportunity to correct it, there is no lashes on your account. So we can't call up the court and say, we're going to give you lashes. We can call up the court to say to him, sir, you need to correct it. You have a mitzvah to correct it. And he might give us the runaround. I'll correct it next week. I'll correct it 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now. We won't get less. Maybe we have the opportunity. It could be we might have the power to force him. Maybe we might have to pass. Sometimes court are able to force the person to do a mitzvah. Say sometimes the court has a mitzvah with certain mitzvahs. The court actually forces the guy to do. Right, the court really gives it to the guy over. Exactly where we want. But now you're going to get into it. Now you'll see what's sad. Here we go. So the Gemara says the following: we're now trying to explain now. I told you we turned the page. The Gemara is now going to explain what is this argument based on. The argument is based on what constitutes a proper warning. For a warning to be a warning, which will eventually give a person lashes, right? We say in order to give a guy lashes, he has to be warned, forewarned. If he's not forewarned, he doesn't get lashes. Before he does the act of the sin, of the violation. Raped the girl, very good. He raped the girl, step 1. Step 2, he married her. Step 3 is now a warning and don't divorce her. That's what the warning is, right? The Torah, there was a violation now, but the Torah says, what does the Torah say, Mark, last night? There's no lashes. It's an issue. He violated the Torah's prohibition. But like any time you wish a person violates the Torah prohibition without a warning, we don't give lashes.
No.
If he does it according to one opinion, if he doesn't do the sixth, he said if he gave the divorce, if he divorced her, he already did the action. He did the violation. He still has it. Right. Only if he was warned not to do the violation, that's when there's an issue of possible. But if he divorced her without a warning, he still has the mitzvah to marry her, but there's no lashes. The warning is don't divorce her. The warning. Did they give her that? Did they give him that warning? The question is, did they give him that warning? Yeah. Oh yeah, yes, say yes. Very good. Let's say yes. Now we're up to Mr. Vitesh's point. What did you say, user? Well, we have to see if everybody agrees to that. That's only if you hold that the warning is only to make, only if the warning is making the hafkin, to make it over between a mason and a shogeg. Everyone might not agree to that. Okay, so now we'll go to Mr. Vitesh's point. We went ahead and we gave him a warning. Don't go ahead and divorce this girl. Don't divorce this girl that you remarried, that you married as a result of the rape. Now, the second he divorces this girl, there's a question now, but there's also a correction. We said there's a correction to remarry her. At what point would lashes kick in for this guy who divorced this woman? He was warned, don't divorce her. Do lashes kick in the moment he divorces her? The moment but he had the ability to what? To remove the lashes by going ahead and marrying her, and the court would call him up, come down to the court, marry her or you'll get the lashes. What? Right, exactly. What's the time frame? Is the time frame, or is it an unlimited time frame to that you go on Rabbi Yochanan? Okay, so you're Rabbi Yochanan, says. That's Rabbi Yochanan's opinion. Why? Now, Rabbi Yochanan understands.
Morning, Rabbi.
He understands the lashes doesn't kick in yet. One of those things. There's no lashes yet on the.
Say, I will not marry.
No, he can say without changing. Maybe I'll change his mind.
He says, I'm making a neder, I'm not
So
married.
Gemara's going to say if it's some sort of neder that he's not able to marry her, or somehow that would be the case. Now, the time frame if he removes the opportunity to ever marry her by forbidding benefit from each other. Let's say. I would say time if the court could force him that as less as they can to work on him. Maybe his rabbi has to shape him up a little bit. What can I tell you? Maybe that's what he needs. Good morning, Rabbi. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about when there is a fix. At which point is lashes on his account? When there is a fix. When there's no fix, the lashes come right away. There's nothing to talk about. There's no possibility of getting off from it. The one is to be right before the act of the violation. So now the Gemara says this argument is directly based. It's built off a different issue. What's the issue? Is the warning, would you say a warning is a good warning if it's not clear at the set of the warning that if I violate this warning, I'm going to get less? If you give me a warning and say, Rabbi, don't do this. Torah says don't do it. But if you do it, if you violate this violation, you might get lashes, you might not get lashes. Is that a good warning? Now, what does it depend on? So according to Rabbi Yochanan is going to say, don't divorce this woman, because if you divorce this woman and you remove the opportunity to remarry her, then you're going to get lashes. Right? If you divorce this woman that you raped, that you married, now, is there going to be, if I warn him, don't divorce her. As a result of the divorce, is there going to be lashes? Is he going to get lashes as a result of this? Is lashes going to be the obligation as a result of this violation? So Rabbi Yochanan says, even though I am not going to be obligated lashes immediately by violating this, the obligation of lashes would only come if I do something later to remove the opportunity of fixing it. But that's still considered a good enough warning when you told him, don't divorce this woman, because there's a chance you're going to get lashes if you divorce her. It has to be that he ruined it. He was mavata. It says if he did something to remove the correction, that's what it seems like.
So if
If
she married.
because if she,
Right?
say it again. She remarried, so he never if let's say he still lost it, but lashes only kick in if he did something to remove the opportunity for fixing it up. But if he didn't do something to remove it, she did it, there's no lashes. And it's his problem too. But he has to do something to an action to remove the opportunity to correct it, then the lashes kick in. But if she does something, lashes will not kick in. Lashes never kicked in. Right, according to Rabbi Yochanan, exactly. But
He says, I don't want to marry her, that's removing the chance of not.
no, but if he says he doesn't want to marry her, the fact that he says that today I don't marry, he could change his mind tomorrow. But if he makes a vow to forbade her from having benefit from him, or certain type of vow that forbids, makes it or something like that, then he can never correct it. Let's say, right? Something like that, he can more than Nathan. Or somehow, if something like that, there's some sort of vow, then he would warning. Then he would lose the opportunity. Mr. Batesh, once he can't correct it, then he's going to get his lashes. Okay. So now, the other rabbi holds, Rishlaka says, you can't, a warning that the lashes are hanging are not incurred as a result of the violation of a warning. That's not a good warning. That's not a good warning. A warning has to be, I tell you, don't do this. And if I violate it, I know I'm getting a certain punishment for my thing. So therefore, I know clearly the consequence. What? But Reish Lakish holds that even if you could fix it, it's called a proper warning. The fix is just taking away the lashes that I am obligated. But say it again. Right, the Torah. Right, that's right. The Torah says don't leave it over to the morning. So Reish Lakish says. Torah says you get you have it on your account as lashes, but now you could remove the lashes by burning it. Right. Right. That's Reish Lakish. Because why is that? Because you already have on your account lashes. Because you left it over to the morning, you were warned. Don't leave it over to the morning. You left it over to the morning. Now you have on your account, you got lashes. And now we also have opportunity. You can remove the lashes. By what? By burning it in the morning. You don't want to burn in the morning? You didn't remove the lashes? The court says, I'm giving you the lashes. Boom. Right. So the court will tell you, point to that opinion. You're not allowed to steal. And the guy goes there and then we say, and then he comes to the morning, the court says, you have an obligation of lashes. If you stole, either you return it or you get lashes. Right? The court says they have to do it. If he dilly-dallies, the guy dilly-dallies, you're going to give him the lashes.
But that's not.
Rabbi Yochanan says that's not the case. Rabbi Yochanan says, as long as you don't do anything to remove the opportunity to fix up the correction, and you have the opportunity to correct it, there's no lashes on your account. You can't give the guy lashes because there's no because the right. That's what shluchah. Today, the guy divorced the woman. No, Mark, the same thing will be divorce. If he divorces this woman that he was not allowed to divorce, we call him up and we say to him, divorce the woman, either you take her back today, or lashes today. Same thing. The divorce will be, according to Rish Lakish, the same thing. Because Rish Lakish says, in order for a warning to be a warning, it has to be that you know when you violate the warning, you know definitely what your consequences are. If you do not know if you're doing this act, you're gonna get the lashes or not, that's not a good enough warning. A warning has to be, you know, and you were told, you knew, you were the right of your mind, whatever the expression is, that with the rightness of your mind, you knew that I am, by doing this act, I'm gonna get lashes. But if I know that I might not get lashes for doing this act, I might get lashes, might get lashes. We can't give a guy lashes. That's not a good enough warning to give a guy lashes when he did the violation. He didn't know for sure when he did that act that he divorced a woman or he stole. He didn't know for sure he's going to get lashes for it. Very good. An ambiguous warning, so to speak. And we're calling it ambiguous because at the time he does the violation, when he doesn't listen to what the Torah says, he doesn't know that there's going to be lashes on his account. If you say that, if you say he doesn't know that's going to be lashes on the account, is that a good warning or not? So Rish Lakish says if he doesn't know that lashes will go on his account, that's not a warning. And therefore, it has to be that lashes go on his account right away. But he has a way to remove the lashes. But lashes, in order for it to not to be an ambiguous warning, he needs to know that you get lashes. It's on your account. It's on your account. Lashes are on your account. That means it's not ambiguous. And because it's on your account, if you don't fix it today, now, boom, we're giving you lashes. Because the warning can't be ambiguous in any way. Rabbi Yochanan says, no, that ambiguous warning is a good warning. Why? You were told, don't do this. The Torah says, don't divorce this woman. You were told, and you were told when it's told, don't do it. You were told that, you know what? If you divorce her, there will be lashes if you do something to remove the opportunity to correct it. You know there's going to be lashes if you do something to remove the opportunity to correct this violation. So that's enough. When you did this, when you were warned, you knew you're not allowed to do this. You didn't know for sure that you're going to get lashes because maybe you will correct it, or maybe you will do something to remove the correction. But the fact that you knew that you might get lashes for this act, that's a good enough warning. You knew you're not allowed to do it. So that's called hasra'at. This is a new concept that we did not learn before in honor of Mark. It's called hasra'at safek. A warning which is in doubt. It's a safek whether I'm going to get lashes if on my account by violating this warning. Nathan, you hear me? This is the question in the Gemara. The Gemara is going to illustrate this because I might correct it. I might correct it. I might ruin it. You're right. Everything according to this, everything according to this. Right. All stuff is right. One opinion says all those cases are called an ambiguous warning, and the other rabbi says no case could be an ambiguous warning. There can't be an ambiguous warning. Even when there's a correction, it's not an ambiguous warning. Why? Because the moment you do the violation, there's lashes on your account. It's not ambiguous. There are lashes on your account. It shows lashes are owed to this guy. But he has the opportunity to what? To cash in, to do something else not to get the lashes. But it's not ambiguous. There's no question of whether there's lashes on his account. Okay, Dr. Navid, is that clear? Okay, so you have a Gemara or not? What? That's the argument. And now the Gemara is going to illustrate with it. Where do we find this Where do we find this? Look at the Gemara says we find this argument. We're now on 15b, article 1. They go according to their reasoning. But again, the Gemara says, what are they arguing on, right? The right column paragraph. The Gemara now analyzes it. Right over here. You see this paragraph? 15b1. Simon, you got it? 15b1? What are they arguing? Dr. David? They're arguing a warning that's ambiguous, if we want to translate it that way. You know, that word, meaning it's in doubt. Whether you'll get lashes as a result of, whether lashes will go on your account, that's what they're arguing. Masava, one master, one rabbi holds. Hatrat safek, a warning that's in doubt whether you will get on your account a punishment for that violation. Shmatra, that's a good enough warning. The guy can't just say, you know what? I didn't think I was going to get lashes. I didn't think I was going to lashes with this, and therefore don't give me lashes for violating it, because you knew you might get lashes for it. Umasav, the other rabbi says, Hatra savik lo shmatra. That's not a warning. The fact that the guy at the time he did the violation, he didn't know, he wasn't sure that he would get lashes for this violation. That's not a good warning. A good warning to give a guy money, because he could get out. He has the possibility of getting out. Right. And these rabbis go according to they argue over here. We see that this is based on this reasoning. We find the following. Ditma. Each rabbi, based on their reasoning over here, will come up with a different explanation in a different case. Ditma. We had a case. Shvua, a guy makes an oath. He swears, I'm going to eat this loaf of bread today. I'm going to eat this loaf of bread today. Now, there's the Torah says, Lo yachel devoro. The Torah gives a prohibition. You're not allowed to defame, make chulin. You're not allowed to, so to speak, nullify your words. If you swear to do something, but for everybody, I thought no one should ever swear about anything today. Stay away from saying, I hear people too many times. I swear to God, I swear. I tell a person, don't swear. Don't swear. I don't care if you're saying the truth. You're not saying, I don't want to hear it. Don't swear. I once heard a Rabbi Steger said a beautiful idea. A person promises. He says, what do you say? When you promise, then you can trust me. But if you don't promise, I can't trust you. Oh, I promise that's true. But every time, it was like a beautiful line. I heard it when I was a teenager. And I said, wow, that's great. Right? I promise. Everything else, if you don't promise, I can't trust. Right? Good line? I think it's a great line. You can share it. I don't have copyright on it. Let me tell you the truth. Right. So now, a guy makes an oath that he's going to eat. Simon got a good enjoy that. He swears that he's going to eat a loaf of bread today. And if a guy goes ahead and he does not eat the loaf of bread, he doesn't follow through to his words, there is a lo saseh. The Torah says, don't profane your words. Don't make your words mundane, nothing, violated. Follow through with your neder, follow through with your oath. That's what the Torah says. You have to fulfill what you swore. You have to fulfill what you made an neder. Lo, you have to keep your lo yachel devoro. So there is if he violates his word, if he doesn't keep it, he is in violation of one of the lo sases of the negative commandments of the Torah. You don't keep your oath. Now, this guy who swore that he's going to eat this bread today, at what time of the now, if you're going to warn him, let's say he swears at 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to eat this bread today. So technically he has the whole day to eat this bread, right? He swore at 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to eat this bread. And let's say the day is over at 5 o'clock, 5:30. So you go over to him. If the witnesses go up, he can eat it at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. He has the whole day to eat the bread. So if the witnesses come over to him at 10 o'clock in the morning, say, sir, you swore you're going to eat the bread. We want to warn you. You have to eat the bread. Let's say 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay, again, he doesn't have, he swears, there's no, he doesn't have to warn him before he swears. Because as long as the violation will be if he swore, if you don't follow what you said. I mean, you're saying that's a good point, Mr. Eddie. You say he just used to warn him before he swore, but now that he swore, we still have time to warn. We can warn him. Because remember, to give a guy lashes, the warning always has to precede the violation. So the swearing is not the violation. The swearing is the violation would be if he does something not fulfilling, doesn't keep his oath. Right. So now you have to warn him before he violates this violation, this low side thing. So if you go ahead in the morning at 10 o'clock in the morning and you tell the guy, sir, you swore you're going to eat this bread today, and at 10 o'clock we say, yeah, eat this bread, because if you don't eat this bread, you're going to get what? Lashes for it. The guy could tell you at 10 o'clock in the morning, I'll eat it at 11. You don't know when you warn him at that moment of the day. It's called, as Mr. Mitesh has written, ambiguous, because it's not clear that lashes will go on his account. And again, in order to get the violation of warning, has to be boom right after the warning. That has to happen within like 1, 2, 3. So if I give the guy a warning, eat this bread, he's sworn it. He's gonna eat the bread today. He's gonna have a bagel today. So I'm gonna eat the bagel today. And you tell him at 10 o'clock, you swore it, no, I'm gonna eat the bagel today. Now it's 10 o'clock. You tell him, you swore you eat the bagel. If you eat the bagel, I'm gonna eat the bagel later.
So like he said,
So the day's over. So you can't give the guy lashes. That would be the reason if you hold. No, well, but why not? Okay, but the warning wasn't right before the violation. Because once the day
what do you consider?
so the violation would be when the day is totally over. It would be, and it seems Rashi says somewhere you can't figure out that exact time to warn him a second before the day is over. But that second, to figure that second seems very hard. And therefore one opinion says that there's no, you wouldn't give a guy lashes for such a violation. If the guy makes this oath, I'm going to eat this bagel today, you can't catch him at a time a second before he does the violation and catch him to give him lashes because he violated it, because you can't figure that time, right? Because if you figure that time, then it wouldn't be ambiguous. It would be definitive. I'm warning you, the second before it's dark, you have to eat this bread. And then he goes and he doesn't eat the bread. So then he violated it, and it was clearly, by not doing this act, he is in violation. He's clear that he's going to get lashes as a result of not doing this act. In order to be in violation, I'm saying there has to be a warning. Right.
Gotta make sure you. The guy's warned. Witnesses, whatever you want to say. Warned. The day expires, stars come out.
Right, but there is very good. But so this opinion is going to say that the warning. There is this halacha that this opinion say that the warning, it has to be like toch kedei dibur, that you have to go ahead and do violation. But if I tell someone don't eat not kosher, if he eats not kosher, that right after I tell him the warning, then he's obligated lashes. But if he waits an hour, he will not get lashes. That's not called. That's not that. That seems to be the case. According to this opinion, why he divorced this woman. He was talking. The violation was don't divorce this woman, and he divorced this woman. right? He did it right at, he did the act of the violation right after the warning. He was told, don't divorce this woman. But now the question is a complication fixture, but he did the violation. He was told, don't do this. Right, the bagel. Now, the other opinion is going to say that the fact that he was told he was warned, and at this moment, and he was told, eat the bagel, even though it was not sure at 10 o'clock in the morning when you told him you have to eat the bagel, because that was part of your responsibility, because you said you're going to eat the bagel, and you were told to eat this bagel, even though it's ambiguous, because maybe you will do it later, maybe I'll eat this bagel later, he holds that's still considered a proper warning. So they'll still be considered a proper warning, which is a little bit with the conflict with that other point, unless he says, because he most probably holds that he's looking at it that now that you have the opportunity, now that you have upon you to eat this bagel, he's looking at it that it's already, you're already in some sort of violation or starting already. So he's saying that even though it's ambiguous, you could say, I'm going to do it later, but at the end of the day, you were told, don't eat this bagel. You didn't eat this bagel. Now, the fact that you could, and you didn't eat it now, eat the bagel. You were warned, eat the bagel, because you swore you're going to eat the bagel. And you didn't eat the bagel. You didn't do at that moment what you were told to do, what you needed to do in order to, and that's enough of a warning. It's a good enough warning. The other rabbi says, if you tell the guy, eat the bagel today, that would be a good enough warning. But there's a different reason why you might not get lashes for the case of the bagel case. Why not? Because the bagel case, when you were told to eat the bagel, if you didn't eat the bagel, you were inactive. You just sat on the side, I didn't eat. By being inactive without doing an action, so many hold there's no lashes to violating something without an action. So now the reason why you don't get lashes if you didn't eat the bagel is for a different reason, because you violated the prohibition, but you did it in a way by being inactive. I just didn't do what I needed to do in life. By not doing what you need to do in life does not get lashes. Because in order to get lashes, you have to do something, you have to be proactive. So it says, don't eat not kosher, and you ate the not kosher. But if the Torah says, don't leave over to the morning the korban, this opinion would say the reason why you don't get lashes is not because you fixed it by burning it. He would say the reason why you don't get lashes is because you violated by being inactive. And there's no lashes by violating by being inactive. To be continued tomorrow. Verbal, right? This type of verbal thing, because this type of verbal thing was I violated if I do nothing, if I don't eat it. What about if I said a verbal thing? I swear I'm not going to eat this food, and I go in and eat it. I violated by doing an action. I ate the food. Here, the violation is by I didn't eat the bagel. That's the violation. By not doing something, there's no lashes. We'll continue tomorrow.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you. Have a good day.
Amén.